Let us start our lesson for today with a short activity named Unscrambled This. Are you excited? Great! Now let me show you our scrambled letters. The mystery word behind these scrambled letters is a mathematical term which means multiplicative inverse. Can you unscramble this in 15 seconds? Let's see what you'll come up with. Time's up! What word did you get? Wow! Great job! Our mystery word is reciprocal. Again, it means multiplicative inverse. It is one of a pair of numbers that when multiplied together is equal to 1. For example, if you will get the reciprocal of 2/5, these are the steps that will follow. We simply have to reverse or switch the position of our numerator and denominator. That means the reciprocal of 2/5 is 5/2. And when you multiply these two, 2 times 5 is 10, and 5 times 2 is 10. And 10 over 10 is equal to 1. Another example is if we have 1/2. The reciprocal of 1/2 is 2 over 1. And when you multiply 1/2 and 2 over 1, that will give you 2 over 2 or 1. Now, if you are to get the reciprocal of a whole number 5, for example, let us remember that every whole number has a denominator 1. That means we can write 5 as 5 over 1. And to get its reciprocal, we'll just again simply have to reverse the position of the numerator and the denominator. Therefore, the reciprocal of 5 is 1/5. And when you multiply these two, we'll have 5 over 5 or 1. Now, what if we have a mixed number? Say, for example, we have 2 and 1/3. According to our steps, if the fraction is a mixed number, we change first the mixed number to an improper fraction before finding its reciprocal. So let's multiply 2 and 3. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1. That will give us 7. Then we copy the denominator 3. To get the reciprocal of 7 over 3, again, we just simply switch the position of the numerators and the denominator. So the reciprocal of 7 over 3 is 3/7. Because when you multiply 3/7 and 7 over 3, that will give us 21 over 21 or 1 whole. Now, how will we use this reciprocal in dividing fractions? Let us find out through our examples. Let's have the first one. What is the quotient of 1/2 and 1/8? Since we're asked to find the quotient, it means the operation that we will use is division. Okay, so let's have 1/2 divided by 1/8. These are the steps that we'll follow in dividing these simple fractions. First, we multiply the dividend by the reciprocal of the divisor. Our dividend in this equation is 1/2 and the divisor is 1/8. Again, according to the first step, we multiply the dividend, which is 1/2, by the reciprocal of the divisor. What is the reciprocal of 1/8? Correct. The reciprocal of 1/8 is 8 over 1 or simply 8. Okay, so we can just remove over 1 here. Since any fraction whose denominator is equal to 1 is just the numerator itself. So let's now multiply. 1 times 8 is 8. Then we copy the denominator 2. 8 over 2 or 8/2 is an improper fraction. That means we have to simplify it. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. And 4 times 2 is 8. There's no remainder, so our final answer is just a whole number 4. Therefore, 1/2 divided by 1/8 is equal to 4. Now let's have another example. What is the quotient of 2/3 and 4/5? Again, for us to get the quotient of 2/3 and 4/5, these are the steps that we'll follow. So let's have 2/3 divided by 4/5. Let's multiply the dividend by the reciprocal of the divisor, which is 4/5. And the reciprocal of 4/5 is 5/4. 2 times 5 is equal to 10, and 3 times 4 is equal to 12. 10/12 is not yet simplified, so we have to simplify it. Okay, let's divide both by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So the simplest form of 10/12 is 5/6. Therefore, 2/3 divided by 4/5 is equal to 5/6. Let's try another example. What is 4 divided by 1 and 1/8? In this case, we are given a whole number and a mixed number. So these are the steps that we'll follow in dividing 4 and 1 and 1/8. So let's write 4 divided by 1 and 1/8. According to our steps, if there is a mixed number, we change it first into an improper fraction. So let's change 1 and 1/8 into an improper fraction. So 8 times 1 is 8 plus 1. That will give us 9. Then we copy the denominator 8. Afterwards, if there is a whole number, we put 1 as the denominator of the whole number. So we'll have 4 as 4/1. Now let's proceed to the rules of multiplying fractions. We'll have 4/1 divided by 9/8. So we'll have 4/1 times the reciprocal of 9/8, which is 8/9. 4 times 8 is 32. 1 times 9 is 9. 32/9 is an improper fraction, so we have to simplify it. 32 divided by 9, that will give us 3. And 9 times 3 is equal to 27. 32 minus 27 is equal to 5. Therefore, we'll have 3 and 5/9. So our final answer is 4 divided by 1 and 1/8 is equal to 3 and 5/9. Let's try another example. What is 36 divided by 4? Again, for us to divide these numbers, we will follow these steps. So let's have 3/6 divided by 4. So let's multiply 3/6 by the reciprocal of 4. Since 4 is a whole number, it has a denominator 1. So when you get its reciprocal, that will be 1/4. 3 times 1 is 3. 6 times 4 is 24. 3/24 is not yet in its simplest form, so let's find its simplest form through continuous division method for GCF. 3 and 24 are both divisible by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So the simplest form of 3/24 is 1/8. Therefore, 3/6 divided by 4 is 1/8. Let's have another example. What is the value of n in 2 and 1/5 divided by 1 and 1/6 equals n? This time we are given mixed numbers. So again, the first step is to change first our mixed numbers into an improper fraction. So let's start with 2 and 1/5. That is 5 times 2 is equal to 10 plus 1. That will give us 11. So it will be 11/5. Then 1 and 1/6 in improper fraction is 6 times 1 is 6 plus 1. That will give us 7/6. So we can rewrite our equation as 11/5 divided by 7/6. Then 11/5 will be multiplied to the reciprocal of the divisor, which is 6/7. 11 times 6 is 66, and 5 times 7 is 35. We have here an improper fraction, so that means we'll divide the numerator and the denominator. 66 divided by 35 is 1, and 1 times 35 is 35. We'll have a remainder of 31. So the answer is 1 and 31/35. Therefore, 2 and 1/5 divided by 1 and 1/6 is equal to 1 and 31/35. Let's have the last example. What is the value of n in 1 and 1/4 divided by 1 and 2/3 equals n? Again, these are the steps that we'll follow. So we'll have 1 and 1/4 divided by 1 and 2/3. Okay, 1 and 1/4 when changed into an improper fraction will be 5/4, and 1 and 2/3 when changed into an improper fraction will give us 5/3. So we'll have 5/4 divided by 5/3. Again, we'll multiply our dividend by the reciprocal of the divisor, which in this case is 3/5. 5 times 3 is 15, and 4 times 5 is 20. 15/20 is not yet in its simplest form, so let's simplify it. 15 and 20 are both divisible by 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3, and 20 divided by 5 is 4. So our final answer will be 3/4. 1 and 1/4 divided by 1 and 2/3 is 3/4. And that's it for our lesson for today.